Okay, so the linear constant coefficient differential equation has a similar form, and this is written by the equation number 2. Okay, the order of the differential equation is here nm. Okay, so this n, the order of equation is n comma n, representing the number of the energy storage devices in the system. If n is equal to 2, that means there are 2 energy storage devices in the systems. Okay, so the order of the system will decide the number of energy storage devices in the system. Representing the number of energy storage storage devices in the system. If the order is 1, that means there is only one energy storage devices in the system. Often this your n is greater than or equal to m. N is greater than or equal to m, and the order of n is described using only n. The order is described using only n. Only n. So we have to look only at the order of the n. So if n is equal to 2, that means it is a second order system. Okay, it is a second order system. That and second order system means there are 2 energy storage devices in the system. For example, which are the energy storage devices in the electrical system? It is a inductor and capacitor. So n is equal to 2 means there is a inductor as well as capacitor are connected in the system, in electrical system. So consider an example of differential equation. Consider an example of a differential equation that describes the behavior of a physical system Okay, consider one RLC circuit. Consider one RLC circuit. Suppose the input to the circuit is the voltage sorry. So the circuit is given to you like this. One resistance is there, one inductance is there, one capacitance is there. Okay. So the input is here x of t. What is the input? X of t, and output is suppose this y of t. But generally the input we apply here voltage. Okay. And what is the output? Output is the current. Sometimes it is also the current flowing through the circuit. So this is the resistance R, this is the inductance, and this is the capacitance. Okay. So suppose the input is the voltage source. Okay. Voltage source x of t, and the output is the current around the loop. Output is the current around the loop. Therefore y of t, okay, that is the output, or it is the current around the loop. Then summing the voltage drop around the loops, we have to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's voltage law we have to apply. That means summing means here if you apply here voltage, then total voltage drop across this circuit is the voltage across the resistance, voltage across the inductor, and the voltage across the capacitors. Therefore summing the voltage drop around the loop, around the loop, it will give you such type of the equation. Okay. So input applied here. So we'll see one by one. What is the voltage drop across the resistor? It is the resistance into the current. So here current we have considered here, it is the output is the current flowing through the loop. Okay. So this is the drop across the resistance plus the drop across the inductance. So the current flowing through the inductors is, or the voltage across the inductor is, voltage across the inductor is nothing but L into d of yt by dt. So this is a voltage drop. This is the voltage drop across the inductor plus the voltage drop across the capacitor. So 1 by c, the integral minus infinity to time t, and this is y of tau d tau, and this is equal to input. Input is x of t. Okay. So this is the differential equations we have got. Okay, by the application of, we can say the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So when you apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law, that means the voltage applied to the circuit x of t is equal to the voltage across the resistance plus voltage across the inductance plus the voltage across the capacitors. Okay. So this is the equations we got after applying the Kirchhoff's voltage law to the given circuit. Now differentiating both sides of this equation, with respect to t, which will give you 1 over c. First we'll take about the capacitors. So if you differentiate the integral, what we'll get? We'll get only that value. Okay. Differential of the integral value is that value, that is 1 over c into y of t plus the differentiation of the r y of t is r into d of yt by dt plus the differentiation of the inductor, that is L into d square of yt by dt square, and this is equal to the input we have applying here the voltage, so the d dt of x of t. Okay, so this is the equations we have got after differentiating the above equations. Okay, so this differential equation describe the relationship between this differential equation this differential equation describes the relationship between the current, which what is the current here? Current is y of t, and the voltage which is applied to the circuit, electrical circuit, is x of t. Okay, in the circuit. Okay, okay. Now in this equation or example, the order is, we can say it is a n. What is the order of this equation? The order of this equation n is equal to, what is the order of this equation? N. Highest order of this equation is n is equal to 2. Okay, that means the circuit contains two energy storage device. It contains two energy storage devices. One is capacitor and an inductor. Okay, so let us consider an example of second order differential equation. The example of second order differential equation. Second order is y of n plus y of n minus 1 plus 1 by over 4 y of n minus 2 is equal to x of n plus 2 times n, sorry, 2 times x of n minus 1. This is equation number suppose 3. Okay, so this is the second order differential equation. Why this is a second order differential equation? Because this involves the term, uh, 1 over 4 by into y of n minus 2. So this y of n minus 2 implying a maximum memory of 2 in the system. So these are implying that there are the maximum memory of 2 in the system output. Hence the order is here 2. Okay. So and this equation represents relationship between the input and output. Input and output signals of the system. What is the input signal? It is applied voltage. Output signal is the current flowing through the circuit. So it is the output signal of the system that processes the data in a computer. Sorry, we have considered now here the separate system. Okay. So this is a second order differential equation, and the second order differential equation is given by equation 3. And this represents the relationship between input and output. So input is here x of n and output is here y. Okay, input is x, output is y, and this is a second order equation because here one term is involving y of n minus 2, and here this is 2 means here your system is second order systems, and it means the it gives the relationship between the input and output signal of the system that processes data in a computer. Okay, here the order is 2. Here the order is 2 because the difference equation involves term y of n minus 2, implying a maximum memory of 2 in the system, implying maximum memory of 2 in the system. In the system output. Okay, so in this way we can identify how many what is the order of the system depending upon the terms which is involved in the equation which is giving the relationship between input and output. Okay, so the memory in a discrete time system is analogous to the energy storage in a continuous time system. So we have considered above the one RLC circuit is there, and in RLC circuit the energy storage devices are inductor and capacitor. So the memory in a discrete time system is analogous to the energy storage device in the continuous time system. Just we have seen the maximum memory of 2 in the system, and if it is in the physical system, electrical system, that means there are 2 energy storage devices in the continuous systems. So these difference equations are easily rearranged. These differential equations are easily rearranged to obtain the recursive formula for computing the current output of the system from the input signal and past output. Okay, so we can rewrite equation number 2. So that y of n is alone on the left hand side, so that we can get on the output only. If y of n we kept on the left hand side, that means that is the equation for the output. So by keeping the output on the left hand side, that is y of n is equal to 1 over a naught. I think few minutes are remain. Take the screenshot of the attendance and send to me. Okay, so this summation k equal to 0 to m bk into x of n minus k minus 1 over a naught summation k equal to 1 to n a k into y of n minus k. So this is the equations, output equation, by keeping y of n on the left hand side of the equation. So this equation indicates how to obtain the y of n from the present and the past value of the input. From the present and the past value of the input. How to obtain y of n from the present and past values of the input past value of the input and past values of the output. Such equations are often used to implement discrete time system in a computer. Okay, such type of the equations are generally used to implement a discrete time system in computers. Okay, consider computing. Take the one attendance screenshot of the attendance and send to me, as we are approaching to the end of this lecture. This consider this equation. Consider computing y of n for n is greater than or equal to 0 from the input x of n. So for the second order differential equation, for the second order differential equation 3. Okay, rewrite in this form. Rewrite this equation number 3 in this form. So y of n is equal to x of n plus 2x of n minus 1 minus y of n minus 1 minus 1 over 4 of y of n minus 2. This is equation number 4. Okay, so this is the equation for computing output y of n for n is greater than or equal to 0 from the input x of n. So we have written this equation in this fashion, beginning with n is equal to 0. Beginning with n is equal to 0, we may determine the output by evaluating the sequence of the equation. So y of 0 is equal to x of 0 plus 2 into x of minus 1 minus y of minus 1 minus 1 over 4 and y of minus 2. Next is y of 1 by putting n is equal to 1 in the output equation. So this will be the x of 1 plus 2 into x of 0 minus y into 0 minus 1 over 4 y of minus 1. Next, by putting y is equal to 2, by putting y is equal to 2, this is x of 2 plus 2 into x of 1 minus y of 2, sorry, minus y of 1. Minus 1 over 4 into y of 0. Next is y of 3. We have to just put n is equal to 3 in the output equation. So here we'll get here x of 3 plus 2 into x of 2 minus y of 2 minus 1 over 4 into y of 1, and similarly by increasing the n. Okay, so the in each equation the current output is computed from the present and past value of the output. In each this equation the current output is computed from the present and the past value of the output. In order to begin with this process at time n is equal to 0, we must know the two most recent past values of the output, and these two recent past values of the output, when you start when you begin process, suppose for n is equal to 0, okay, when you start computing the output by putting n is equal to 0, we must know the two most recent past values of the output, and which are those values? That is y of minus 1 and y of minus 2, because we are considering here n is equal to 0. So on the left side of the 0, the two values are minus 1 and minus 2. So we should know the two most recent past values of the output, and these are the two past values of the output when you start computing the output of the system by putting n is equal to 0, and these values are known as the initial conditions. These values are known as initial conditions. Thank you very much. Okay, rest of the things we will discuss next time. Send the take the attendance. How many 15 how many students are there? Only 15 students are there. Okay, send me the screenshot of the attendance. Thank you very much.